Now, back to Sunrise on News Radio 880 KCMX.
Shout, shout, I'm talking to you, so come on. Shout!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. 18 minutes after the hour. Welcome back to the Sunrise Show. Craig Froelich is your host, and want to welcome one of our local doctors here from Eagle Point, of course, Complete Care Chiropractic, Dr. Thad Gala. But I tell you what, you want to get to drthadgala.com because he has a longevity summit coming up April 18th and 19th. Very cool and very busy and very big on health, nutrition, everything is, it's all connected. We're all connected. But I want to welcome onto the program Dr. Thad Gala. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. How are you this morning?
Well, we're fantastic. We're busy on things. And I tell you what, it's great to see that you're empowering people by making them think about, hey, I can do this. My body can do this. And the vista is endless, isn't it, on what people can do with their own bodies?
You know, it really is. And, myself and a lot of other leading physicians, I know like Peter Diamandis and, Audrey DeGray, a lot of these other physicians are saying that, well, Peter Diamandis, for instance, he says that 100 is the new 65. And Audrey DeGray says that 1,000 is the new 65, and myself, I believe that about 150 is the new 65 in probably the next, I'd say the next 50 years, meaning that there's a lot of researchers, myself included, that even probably in the next 50 to 100 years, we will have people that will be living quality of life to age 100 to 150. And the way the trending is showing and research and technology advances, it's very promising that is in our horizon, and that's something that I'm excited to talk about today, sharing some of that information with some of your listeners, and getting them on the road to not only reducing chronic pain, headaches, back pain, losing weight, but to try to debunk some of the. I know we have limited time today, but I'd love to try to debunk some of the myths and misconceptions in healthcare surrounding weight loss, prescription medications, what healthy aging really looks like. What are the true causes of aging, and then some tools and action steps that hopefully your listeners can start making today so they can start getting healthy as early as tomorrow and start seeing health improvements, whether it's reducing their need for prescription medication, losing weight, improving energy, sex drive, you name it. We're going to be talking about this today as well. I'd love to talk about it today, as well as obviously more in depth at the Longevity Summit in April coming up. So what do you want to start with? What do you think your listeners would love to know about the most?
Yeah, well, Dr. Gala, I think the biggest thing is people need to get out of this thing of, hey, I'm sick, give me a pill. Oh, I hurt, give me a pill. They want a quick fix, and there's this due diligence that does come into play, correct, with them empowering themselves?
Well, you're absolutely right. There's actually research that just came out. Most people have heard about this, but I'm still surprised by those that haven't. But the FDA actually just reversed its position on two major health issues. I mean, it completely flipped their decision. And the FDA just came out and said that they have you ever heard, Craig, that what they said, take an aspirin a day for your heart?
Yes.
Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
Right? We all have heard that, and we've all taken aspirin at some time in our life. And they just flipped their decision, and they just announced several months ago saying that they no longer recommend taking aspirin as a primary course of prevention. And we've been duped into taking aspirin for years and years, of course, by the pharmaceutical companies, because they've been able to lobby their efforts and so forth, and of course, pay for the research and pay for the studies. But the FDA just finally said, you know what, enough's enough. The evidence isn't there anymore, and they just reversed it. And they, in fact, went on to say that there's more risk from bleeding and GI and stomach ulcers and other issues, that they no longer recommend taking an aspirin a day for heart prevention. And on the heels of that, which of course to me, and this is absolutely just rocked the entire medical community, because so many people have been taking aspirin for so long, and they've been told that it's healthy for us, and now the FDA just announced that, like I said just a few months ago, that it's actually very unhealthy for us, and the risks largely outweigh the benefits in primary prevention. And this is right, and on the heels of this came the other announcement where the FDA just acknowledged that cholesterol is no longer as impactful in overall health as they once thought. And the same thing with statins is with the recent study showing that cholesterol medications actually can accelerate heart disease, which is the very thing that it's supposed to prevent. But it shows that the research came out to show that it actually can accelerate heart disease, as well as perpetuate. The FDA announced that it can perpetuate and increase your risk for type 2 diabetes and many other health issues. So, yeah, I would agree. Absolutely, one of the biggest myths and misconceptions is that taking medications means you're healthy. What I mean by that is a lot of people have kind of been told, and it's really no fault of their own, because that's the way our society looks at it, but they've been told that, we should be, we're supposed to take meds for your blood pressure, you're supposed to take medications for your cholesterol, for your headaches, for your pain, whatever it is. And if you take, for instance, a blood pressure medication and it normalizes your blood pressure, a lot of people think, well, I'm healthy because my blood pressure meds have it under control. Or I'm taking cholesterol medications and so my cholesterol is under control. But we don't realize that, like, for instance, statin, which is a cholesterol medication, we know now that it actually increases your risks for neuropathy, for peripheral neuropathy, increases your risk for type 2 diabetes. It increases your risk of muscle pain or the muscle weakness type disease, and many other health issues. So to think that we're taking a medication that everything's going to be okay, that's a big myth and misconception that unfortunately is all too common in American public. So you're absolutely spot on.
Yeah,
and that's one of the things we're going to be talking about. I know we can talk about it more today, but
yeah, let's do that. Well, hold on, Dr. Thad Gala, we've got him. We'll be right back on the Sunrise Show.
Back to Sunrise on News Radio 880 KCMX.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the program. 35 minutes after the hour on the Sunrise Show. Craig Fronikin is your host, and we're continuing with Dr. Thad Gala and, of course, Complete Care Chiropractic out there in Eagle Point. But he is passionate about good health, longevity, and he's put on a longevity summit coming up April 18th and 19th. That's a Saturday and Sunday at the Smullin Center. There is a cost. Doctor, I guess talk about that and what people get, because the list of guest speakers are huge on this Saturday and Sunday coming up the 18th and 19th of April.
Sure. No, absolutely. No, I'm excited. This has been my passion for since I was little, and watching my mom suffer with her health and her fibromyalgia, and now she's in complete remission. But it's been my passion to do this, and so April 18th and 19th we have at the Asante Hospital Smullin Center. We're going to have a tea event where we're going to be going over the top tips and secrets, and we're going to have an amazing lineup. Dr. Robin Miller, Joel Klein, Patrick Gakey, Benjamin Grundy, Jeremy Hendon, all these experts in healthcare are going to be sharing their number one top must-do right now health tip in powerful 10-minute talks. Kind of like a TED talk.
Right.
That's the model that we're going after. So these physicians and these healthcare professionals are going to be sharing their number one must-do, easy-to-implement action step so you can lose weight for good easily, so you can work to start getting or reducing or eliminating your need for prescription medication, so you don't have to be popping pills, increasing your energy so you don't have to be taking naps or feeling bogged down at the end of the day, reducing how to reduce chronic neck pain, back pain, headaches, so you can play with your kids or your grandkids and be active and doing what you want. So it's a full 2-day event, and of course, we're excited about it, and we are so confident in not only the guest speakers that we have, but also the information that we're going to be providing in some of the breakout sessions is that if people aren't absolutely blown away by the first day, and if they don't believe that they've learned easy to implement action steps that's going to add 5 to 20 quality years to their life, we're offering people a complete refund of, of course, the early bird pricing in soon. It's $97 for both days. We're having a catered lunch included, and if by the end of the first day people aren't absolutely blown away, then they can just ask one of our team members, say, you know what, this wasn't for me, wasn't a fit. We'll give them a full refund, no questions asked, because again, we're that confident that people are going to walk away with easy to implement action steps on, again, losing weight, feel good, look good in the mirror, especially with summertime coming up, reducing chronic pain, looking more vibrant, looking youthful again, skin health, hair health, all of these things that we know people, that it's a big mystery out there. And we're going to be shedding a light on how to be improving health and life with easy to implement action steps they can start the same day or the very next day to start seeing results. So we are really excited about it.
Well, it sounds like just an incredible event, both Saturday and Sunday, the 18th and 19th at the Smullin Center. And we're talking with Dr. Thad Gala and his website, drthadgala.com. It's DrThadGala, Dr. Thad Gala. And we'll put that on our Facebook page. So everyone can find it on the Sunrise on KCMX Facebook page. And it's going to be amazing because, Doctor, you also talk about the body is so able to heal itself. Just give it the right nutrients. And people are so into this, well, I feel sick, I feel hurt, I feel pain, give me a pill. How do you change that mentality of, hey, wait a minute, are you eating healthy? Are you hydrated enough? Those kind of things.
Right. Well, that is a big thing. A lot of people have been told that we need to take medication to get healthy, and we've been told that that's the way to go, and that as you get older, you just need to kind of throw your hands up in the air and say that's it. But we know research shows that even with some of the simple action steps that we're going to be talking about, that you can, for instance, just by taking this one vitamin, you can reduce your risk of all cancers combined by over 77%. I mean, this is just huge information. I mean, to think about, for about 67 cents a day, you can take this one supplement, and you can reduce your risk of all cancers combined, your first risk of heart attack by 50%. You can reduce your risk of multiple sclerosis, all fractures, asthma, all of these things. And that's the thing, is a lot of us think that, it's genetic and there's nothing I can do about it. But we know now that your lifestyle choices, or what you do in life, whether it's the toxins you're exposed to, your level of social interaction, your lifestyle, diet, exercise, supplements, stress, your environment, how much sleep you get, etc., all lead to the disease process. And when you look at that, the disease process promotes what we call low-grade or subclinical inflammation, which now you can test. There's a very specific lab test you can measure that with now called HS-CRP that shows your risk of diabetes, arthritis, blood pressure, autoimmune issues, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, heart disease, fibromyalgia, cancer, mental fog, neuropathy, sleep apnea, etc. And when you get inflammation down, such as even with this one supplement that we're talking about, which is one of the supplements, is vitamin D. Now, a lot of people will stop right there and say, I take vitamin D, I'm good. But they don't realize what optimal levels are. And if you just take vitamin D and you don't know where your optimal levels are, you're not taking enough, then it's not going to have the effect.
Or too much.
That's one of the things we're going to be talking about is what the optimal levels are for vitamin D, as well as many other key simple supplements. And then, of course, obviously action steps and all other areas of life. How to get the best exercise in the shortest amount of time to have the best benefits. How to reduce stress. What's the perfect sleep. All of these things, so people can improve their overall health, feel good, look good, and reduce their risk of all these chronic diseases. Because a lot of people think, it's genetic, and they throw their hands up in the air. But we know now that genetics is really just your template, and depending on how you live your life will determine whether those genes get turned on or off.
Yeah, that's
so you
amazing.
may have an Alzheimer's gene, or a breast cancer gene, or prostate cancer gene, or a diabetic gene, but your lifestyle and your environment and what you're exposed to and what you choose to do on a daily basis will turn on or turn off the expression of those genes. And that's one of the things we're talking about so people can start seeing results. Again, sometimes within 24 hours, they'll start feeling their energy boosting, chronic pain starting to slowly go down, types of things people start seeing right away.
This is amazing. Dr. Gala, it's going to be awesome, and we're out of time, unfortunately, but let's see if we can't revisit prior to the event coming up April 18th and 19th. That's a Saturday and Sunday, and Dr. Gala has got the Smullin Center is yours both days. Going to be fantastic. The list of featured speakers and the quote-unquote TED Talks, I love how that power phrase as far as what number one thing they can do, and that it's going to be great to have you. Thanks so much for your time this morning. It's awesome.
Thank you so much. And if people want to register, they can go to 1-800-277-0884 or drthadgala.com. We're more than happy to answer any questions that they have. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Oh, you bet. You bet. And we'll post that on there as well. There's a special 800 number, 800-277-0884, and drthadgala.com. It's drthadgala, drthadgala.com, and it's great. Doctor, it's awesome. And I tell you, you know what? We can only benefit from anything, any small amount, just get better and better on that as far as empowering us to do better, eat better, live longer. How about that?
That's right. I love it.
All right. All right. Well, thanks so much. We'll be back on the Sunrise Show coming up after this break. Oh, wow. So much we can do. And Dr. Thad, thanks again for your time this morning.
Wonderful. Awesome. Anything else for me at this point?
No, we're all set, sir. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Great. Thank you so much.
Right.
And in terms of that reporting, what would be the best way to get that?
Oh, we'll get that. We'll get that to you.
Okay, because I'm thinking if I can get that, that'd be awesome. And I can post it on our social media and
it'll be on our YouTube page coming up shortly. All right, We got to take a break. We'll be right back on the Sunrise Show after this.